Welcome back to our Pitchiers YouTube channel. I'm Santiago and I want to help you with your job search and with your job interviews. When a person is in their job search, we have some numbers that say that every time that they're in 4 job recruitment processes with 4 different companies, they usually get only 1 job offer. This is less than 30% in their success rate. So why this happen? Why you are not being successful in your job interviews? Well, most people don't know how to approach them, and today I'm gonna share what you can do before, during, and after an interview. I hope you enjoy it, and let's move forward. Congratulations, you have secured a job interview with a company that you are interested in. So what can you do now? Now you're going to be doing research about the company. Go to their website, go to their social networks, and find out how they talk about themselves, what are their values, what they are trying to achieve, and so on. So the other thing that you need to do research about is what technologies they're working with, and try to understand what are the technologies that you are currently experienced with that are going to be able to help them. And also if there are technologies that they're using that you are not exposed to, at least you can do a little bit of research of how those technologies can be used. And finally, but very important, is try to do research about the people you're going to be meeting with. Try to understand what are their backgrounds, try to understand what they have been doing in their career and what it is that they're doing now in that company. You might not find a lot of information about these people, maybe yes, maybe not, but at least you can go to LinkedIn and try to find out what it is that they're doing. The second thing you can do before a job interview is to plan how to structure the information that you're going to be sharing with them. And there are 3 things that you need to consider for this. The first thing you're going to do is to reflect on your experience, the technologies that you have been using and the ways of working that you have been exposed to in your previous companies and in your current job. The second thing you're going to be doing is to match how your experience and the technologies that you are exposed to and the ways of working you're exposed to match with the job requirement for the job you're going to be having the interview. The third thing you are going to be doing is to structure all this information. You need to understand what's your point, how to explain it, give an example, and close the idea. I'm going to give you now a quick example. I'm a front-end developer using React. I have been using React for the last 5 years in my current job and my previous jobs. I use React to build components in the front end, so I feel quite confident that I'm going to be able to support your team and the company with front-end technologies and libraries like React. Great, today is the day. Today you are having that job interview that you have been preparing for. So what's the first thing you can do is to listen. And there are 2 aspects to this. The first aspect is listen what kind of question they're asking to you. Is an open-ended question or is a closed-ended question? I'm gonna give you example for one of each. So open-ended question. Okay, Santiago, good morning. How are you? Would you like to tell me a little bit about your background and your experience as a full stack developer? That's open-ended. There are so many things for me to talk about. The companies I have been working with, what the technologies I have been working with, and so on. I need to elaborate in an open-ended question. So, an example for a closed-ended question. Santiago, tell me if you have experience with libraries for front-end like React. Then the answer is yes or no. That's what they want to know. If you do have experience with React. So the answer needs to be very specific, yes or no. Then you can see if the other person wants you to elaborate on your response. So what's the second aspect of what I was talking about? The second aspect is read the body language. Here you don't have to listen, but yes, you have to see what's the body language of the other person. In this way, you're gonna understand if the other person is engaged or not. So how you can notice the body language of the other person? One example is the person lying back in their chair, looking to other sides, looking at their phone or something like that? Well, that means that the person is not engaged. So if the person is with their hands on the table, looking at you, doing gestures like this and so on, then means that the person probably is engaged. So you need to be very careful and aware of this body language that will help you to understand if you're having that person engaged or not. Another thing that you can do during the interview is to ask questions, and mainly for two things. The first thing is make sure you understood the question they have asked you. Many times I ask questions to people and they start talking and talking and talking and talking, and I realize that they didn't understand, but they keep talking and they don't even take the time to understand if what they are telling me is what I want to hear. So make sure that you are understanding the question they are asking to you, and if needed, make sure by asking them a question to see if you understood what they want to know about you. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to ask questions about the job, ask questions about the company, the different teammates and everyone. Like many times people in the job interviews ask, okay, do you have any question? And people say, no, thanks. That can show that you are not interested in, but most importantly, I believe that one of the best ways to do an interview is to doing the right questions, how they are solving specific problems, how they are implementing certain technologies, how are they going through different challenges and so on. When you ask the right questions, it's another way for you to show them that you know what you are talking about. Most of the time, job interviews are under pressure. You have to be there talking about yourself and so on, and talking about yourself is never easy. So what can you do after those interviews, after those situations where you are under pressure? One thing you can do is to take your time to send an email to the person that has done the interview with you to say thanks for their time. But also it's a very good time for you to include some other information that you are not able to share because you were under pressure and you forgot to mention some things. Also, it's a very good opportunity for you to ask them, if you forgot to ask them, how long it's gonna take this recruitment process. When do you should be hearing back from them? So you have a time frame, and if in that time frame they're not getting back to you, you can send them another email by then to ask what's going on with the recruitment process and what you should expect from them and when. So that's the first aspect. The second aspect of it is that you need to keep looking for other opportunities. You need to keep applying for other jobs. You need to keep doing networking and talking to other people. Why? Because you never know what can happen. They can put the role on hold. They might have come across another candidate that because of any reason is a better fit for them. You don't have to feel bad about that. Sometimes they might come across another person that is asking for less money than you, and that's beneficial to them. Maybe they come across someone that has more experience than you in certain technologies in a specific industry. So don't feel bad about it. Sometimes, and many times, they end choosing another person but has nothing to do with you, and it's all good. So that's why I'm saying that even though the interview went great, don't stay with that, and make sure that you are doing everything you can do. And everything you can do is keep applying to jobs, keep doing networking, because you want to have the most amount of opportunities as possible. I hope you have found this video useful, and see you next week with more videos to help you with your job search, with your interviews, and with your career growth. See you next time.